Okay, it is officially time for the A to Z mini rework. My thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. We are officially at Jinx, the loose cannon. Why? I like the title, but I don't like it at the same time. That really doesn't describe her, but at the same time, it does. It's weird. Okay, yes, damage is 100% more physical, mostly auto attacks. I will completely agree with difficulty too. Yes. But she does have a low skill floor, but a high skill ceiling. Sort of a medium sized skill ceiling. Damage maxed out in crowd control too. Understandable. Understandable. And that I'd maybe give her mobility too. That's kind of 50-50 just because her passive is kind of stupid, but I'll accept it now. A maniac and impulsive criminal from Zaun, Jinx lives to wreak havoc without care for the consequences. With an arsenal of deadly weapons, she unleashes the loudest blasts and brightest explosions to leave a trail of mayhem and panic in her wake. Jinx despises boredom and gleefully brings her own chaotic brand of pandemonium wherever she goes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the loose cannon. Okay, so this one's get excited. Should just be called like excited or something like that. I don't like get excited. I think that's just stupid. Jinx receives massively increased movement speed and stacking attack speed whenever she damages an enemy champion, tower, or inhibitor that is then killed or destroyed within 3 seconds. Meaning, like, that's what I was saying. Like, she gains a good amount of movement speed and a lot of attack speed whenever getting a kill or destroying a tower. So, like, in those specific cases, I understand why she isn't mobility 2, but yeah, I'll accept the fact that she isn't mobility 2. Okay, next we have her Q Switcheroo, which I actually really like that. Jinx modifies her basic attacks by swapping between Pow Pow, her minigun, or Fishbones, her rocket launcher. Attacks with Pow Pow grant attack speed, while attacks with Fishbones deal area effect damage, gain increased range, and drain mana. So, it's kind of something. This is one of the things that actually takes a good amount of skill of knowing when to attack with Pow Pow and when to attack with Fishbones. Because, like, most of the time you want to attack with Fishbones when you're farming or just trying to poke really quick. But if you're having a consistent fight, or like auto attacking in a rhythm, or just trying to auto attack consistently, having a drawn out fight, then you want to use the minigun because it increases your attack speed the more you use it. And it's kind of stupid in that case because eventually, once you have enough attack speed, and if you get excited, you attack so fast it's ridiculous, and in some cases broken. W Zap. Jinx uses Zapper, her shock pistol, to fire a blast that deals damage to the first enemy hit, slowing and revealing it. Nothing wrong with this whatsoever, and completely fine. Flame Chompers. I don't understand why they're called Flame Chompers. Like, I understand they explode upon, like why not chomping grenades? Like, literally what they are. Jinx throws out a line of snare grenades that explode after 5 seconds, lighting enemies on fire. Flame Chompers will bite enemy champions who walk over them, rooting them in place. See, like, I understand that they light people on fire after they explode after the 5 seconds, but they don't light you on fire if you walk into them. I do not believe so anyway, and if so, the burn is so irrelevant that it might as well not even be there, or it's just something that does so little damage that it will help out in the long run, but was really very not noticeable and not really cared about. So yet again, I would change the name to that, but honestly, the ability itself is completely fine, and it's good. Her R, Super Mega Death Rocket. I love that. Jinx fires a super rocket across the map that gains damage as it travels. The rocket will explode upon colliding with any enemy champion, dealing damage to it and surrounding enemies based on their missing health. Yet again, completely fine. I like the fact that it gains more damage like the farther distance, but it still does missing health damage no matter what range it hits, meaning that if you get someone low enough, you can just fire that off to finish them off. To be quite honest, I really don't have any problem with Jinx's kit. The only real thing that I think should maybe be slightly adjusted would be either her Q or her passive. So I think that the passive movement speed, completely fine. I think that the passive attack speed can really be excessive. It increases her attack speed a lot. Like, look at that. Look at it from the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and like there was like a second between each auto, and here's 1, 2. Like that's less than it. That is like more than doubling her attack speed. So I think that should maybe be toned down a bit. And then when it comes to her auto attacks, I like the fact that it swaps over to like the rockets and everything and does the bonus damage. But I disagree with like yet again, like just how fast her attack speed can get, because of her getting enough stacks on her minigun will cause her to increase her attack speed by an insane amount, and it just becomes unbearable to where she will melt you, and she'll shoot like 10 auto attacks in the time that you hit one ability. Like, I know that seems like a ton, and you're probably thinking, oh, there's no way, which to be truthful, 10 is a bit much. But, like, unless you're an assassin, which even in most cases, assassins won't be able to get to her from her E, which I find completely fine. Like, there's no way you're out damaging her. If you are any tank at all, do not even get close to her unless you have a very consistent form of CC, because she will just run you down, and she auto attacks at way too fast. Now, I do think currently in the meta, she's pretty okay. Like she isn't great with the whole Storm Razor thing. She still builds like a lot of attack speed and crit. Does best on her than anything else. And like a Bork, she's a very good tank slayer. But in general, I still think it is a little bit obnoxious and annoying just how fast she can get to in attack speed. It's kind of like Tristana, but both worse and better at the same time. It's really weird. And yeah, I would just tone back how fast she can auto attack on both her passive and her Q, just to like make sure that everything goes well. And yes, if it does like lower her too much, then I'd only give back one and not the other, unless that like it really did affect her in a major way to where she's just like unplayable or something along that line. But that is really the only thing I would do. I do not think that she needs any buffs right now. I don't think any of that is really necessary. And just, yeah, I think that in general, she should just increase her or decrease her attack speed from both her passive and her Q. Well, which also is a Q passive on her Pow Pow, her minigun. Then we have skins. She has a good amount of skins. Mafia Jinx, honestly, I really like. I like the old-timey style of her minigun, how it's not, like, futuristic or anything else. I think that the skin fits really nice. I can't remember, like, the name of the movie that, it was a book. But I just get a really good old-timey Mafia vibe off of it, and I really do like the skin. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. She has a lot of good skins. Firecracker Jinx looks incredible. The rocket, everything about this skin is just flashy, cool-looking, and exciting. Yet again, like a straight 9 out of 10. It's just a good skin. Slayer Jinx, I think, is nice, but I really don't think that it does like what it could have been justice. I think that they focused a bit too much on the like they did really good in like Pantheon and Nunu in my opinion, but they really just like fell off when it came to her. I think that they could have made like literally every aspect of it just more. Like, she is an eccentric, insane person. You can like just go all out. And I feel like they really just underwhelmed her in this one. So I'd honestly, I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. Star Guardian Jinx, on it does look really nice. I think compared to some of the other Star Guardians, though, it really doesn't look as good as them. But they did make her my favorite color, which is red. And then they also made like I like the way her weapons work in the sense of how those weapons, because each of the Star Guardians is that way, that like her weapons are also her animals. And I like the way that her weapons like swap back and forth between her two animals like that, and I think it's kind of cool. But I don't think it's as good as the other two skins, so I'd give it like a solid 8 out of 10 or 7. We'll go in between. We'll go 7.5 out of 10. Then we have Ambitious Elf Jinx. Um, I don't really think that the ambitious really needs to be in there. I think that like Elf Jinx, like why is she ambitious? I wouldn't really describe Jinx as ambitious. I'd say maybe in eccentric. Eccentric Elf Jinx would have probably been a better fit. I do like the whole aesthetic of it. She really like the. I wish that they kind of messed with things a little bit more. I really like what they did to Fishbones, where he's the explosive, but I wish that they had like everything else follow the same lead of just making it completely insane. I like her main guns and everything, but I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. I like it, but I don't love it, and I'm not really quite sure. I put it at like, honestly, I think it's better than the Star Guardian skin. I don't know why. I just really don't like her Star Guardian skin. I do like those two aspects about it I said, but like overall, I don't like her Star Guardian skin. I do not know why. So this one I would definitely put at like a solid 8 out of 10, so just above the Star Guardian. Odyssey Jinx, I love and hate at like the same time. I really like what they did with the ponytail, how she's still insane, the robotic arm. I think that it really fits well, but I don't think it's as good as some of her other skins. I would definitely say it's cool, it's nice. It is still a good skin that I would put like at equal grounds with, or like slightly above grounds of the ambitious elf, which would be eccentric elf, and still above Star Guardian, but still above that one other, like the Slayer Jinx. So I'll give this one like an 8.5. So all of her skins were really good except for Slayer Jinx. Slayer Jinx, like they just needed to make it more. They like look at Pantheon. He looks like a Slayer. Like, yes, I understand this is apocalyptic times, but she just has like regular clothes on. The only thing that's like really eccentric is her one minigun. Like, even her rocket launcher is basically just another like a normal rocket launcher, but with this weird thing on the front of it. Like, I think that they could have made her so much more insane. I would have like maybe made her zapper, or like a chainsaw version of her zapper, basically, where it's like a little chainsaw and she just shoots that chainsaw thing out that it hits someone and that's what slows them. Her chomping plants could be like little zombie heads. Her minigun I think is already pretty good, but maybe like not make something a minigun and turn something into like just like a really big type of other gun. Just have her rocket launcher be like a legit cannon. Like, look at Nunu's skin. He's a mad flippin' scientist, and you couldn't have added any of those type of things onto Jinx. Like, make her zapper look like Nunu's head with the weird Teslas. Make a chainsaw version of her minigun where, like, it spins blades, but then it also shoots. Like, I don't really know how I can best describe it, but I have a mental image of it. I just cannot describe it for the life of me. Basically, a minigun with a chainsaw attachment in the middle of the route, the spinning thing. If you know what I mean. Or reverse it. Either way would honestly work in for what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, like I just there could be more things that they could have done with it. But like everything else was like a 7.5 and higher. Besides this one, which is again like 4.5. Like it just didn't live up to it. It could have been so much better. The Pantheon skin was the best one out of all of them. Okay, but yeah, that has been Jinx the Loose Cannon. It really wasn't that much of changes. Her skins are almost all great. Her lore is okay. Her style is pretty much exact to what it should be, and she's exactly the way she should be. And I really don't have any other ideas for what her, like, any skins for her, to be completely honest. I'd love to see what, like, a championship skin would look on Jinx's. I think that would be something really crazy and cool. But at the same time, I really don't think that she should get a championship skin for a while. Like, they only release one a year, so I definitely think that she should not be one of their priority lists. Because I would love to see, like, a championship thing that's supposed to be this high, mighty, prestige looking thing. Or not a championship or a victorious, I mean. Um, like, either of those things. Just seeing any of those, like, high, mighty, prestigious things mixed with her completely insane, loose cannon self, in my mind, would just be a really cool concept and something that I think would look really nice. So, yeah, if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I have said, please leave a comment down below and we can gladly have some sort of discussion. If you want to. If you have any other ideas for the champion, like a skin idea or just something that you personally thought of, maybe a full-on rework, I will gladly leave it down below. I will read it as soon as I can and decide if I actually like it. I'll give, like, feedback on it to see if I agree with you or disagree with you on something. Or maybe I'll say something like, oh, well, yeah, that's a good idea, but I think it could be broken in such and such case. Or I think that, like, this right here would falter really badly. So yeah, if you want the opinion of my opinion, then yeah. And furthermore, if you happen to know or be a Riot member, please contact me. So I'm going to thank you all very much for watching this A to Z mini rework, my thoughts, changes, and so on and so forth. And I will bid you all adieu. Goodbye.